Hi everybody, this is TJ with the 7 Summits Trader. I've been receiving a lot of emails lately with some really great questions. There's a lot of excitement around this upcoming release of the SST Forex. Of course, we're doing our live demonstration this week, actually, February 24th at noon and then again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. One of the common questions that I keep receiving is what sets the SSTFX apart from all the other trade strategies that are out there. There's a lot of people offering a variety of trade strategies. I am aware of that. In this video, I want to show you what separates the SSTFX from all the rest. So I'm going to focus on a few key points that sets us apart. The first thing that comes to mind are dynamic targets and stops. Most other systems try to force markets to meet their preset objectives, such as 20 pips on a trade, or 2 points, for example. In other words, they're trying to impose their own personal will and goals on a market that really couldn't care less. The markets never stay the same. What sets the SSTFX apart is that we do not impose our own preset ideas onto the market. We're willing to take what the market wants to give us, and therefore we're always using dynamic targets, stops, entries. In fact, the entire trade profile is dynamic. It's constantly self-adjusting at the right edge of the chart. Take a look at this example here. This is a popular pound-dollar 5-minute chart. As you probably know by now, the little plus signs are our entries, the dots below are targets, and the little boxes above are stops. This is how it looks on the MetaTrader 4 background. I put a little grid in the background just to help you gauge the size of the trade. Okay, there's a typical 5-minute chart. Now, notice the size of this trade. Okay, assuming we're going to go to the third target, we have an entry here. This trade doesn't get all the way down. The stop is way up here. It pushes down, locks in a little bit, and the trade comes up and stops out for a break-even trade. Okay, that's a valid attempt on a real small setup. The next trade comes. Well, it's a long setup here. It doesn't trigger in. The next one is actually a short trade. Again, a small trade. This time, we do get to the full target. It stabs a little bit beyond. Our trailing stop pushes down, but we can't get any further. And the trade comes up and it stops us out of our second position with a partial winner. Now, look at the long trade that follows. Take a look at how large this target is. The market's beginning to open up. The SSTFX recognizes that. We hit our entry, and we get into this nice long trade with a target way up here. Look at the difference between this trade and this trade. This trade was adjusted to the current market condition. And then, as the price momentum begins to accelerate, the SSTFX identifies a place where we could even add to our position and gives us a whole other set of targets up here. And then look what happens. The price comes all the way up, hits the full target on the add-on trade as well. Meanwhile, the first position, we get out at the third dot with part of our position, but we allow the trailing stop to push its way up and allow us to remain in both these positions in hopes for a bigger move. And then the market comes down and we end up getting a partial profit on those trailing positions. But this entire sequence, very profitable. What I really want you to notice on the sequence of trades is how the SSTFX handled the changing market condition and gave us the best trades possible for that particular point in time. It's not trying to impose some preset idea. It's reacting to the current market condition and adjusting accordingly, allowing us to put on the best possible trades for what the market conditions dictate. Okay, that's a major thing that sets us apart from the other systems that are out there today. Which leads me to the second thing that separates us: flexibility across multiple markets and multiple time frames. Other systems out there are optimized to usually work in one or just a handful of markets. They tend to be over-optimized and inflexible, and they don't allow traders to adapt and grow. Keep in mind that what's hot today and what we're making money with today isn't necessarily going to be the hot markets of tomorrow. Think back at the dot-com boom when a lot of us were trading some of those high-flying tech stocks back in the late 90s. Many of those companies that were making us a lot of money in those days don't even exist today. The same is true with Forex pairs. Some Forex pairs are going to trade for a good amount of time, but then they're going to cool off, while other pairs then begin to trade in a profitable way. And we have to be flexible and nimble. Same with time frames. We want to be able to trade time-based charts, but what about the powerful range bars? What about swing trading? Those are all important tools in our trader toolbox that we want to take advantage of. Here's an example of a range bar chart. We were looking at a 5-minute pound dollar. Well, here's a pound dollar using a range bar. This is actually a 12-pip range bar. Okay, we looked at a 6-pip range bar in a prior video. Take a look at this 12-pip range bar. There's so many opportunities. We need our trade strategy to be able to work on multiple markets and time frames. Clearly you can see some great swings on this 12-pip range bar chart. But what about other instruments? Take a look at this Euro-US weekly chart. I mean, this is a big chart, a slow-moving chart. You can make a lot of money trading a chart like this in your retirement account, for example. You can see a nice winning trade coming down, down, down. And then a long trade, look at it, hitting full target, perfectly tuned to the market condition, even letting you add on, getting you a partial profit. Remember, this is a weekly chart. There are hundreds and hundreds of pips in each one of these trades. Currently in another long trade, and this trade is underway. The point is that I was able to pull up a weekly chart, completely different instrument, apply the same strategy, trade it the same way, and get the same statistical edge, putting the odds in our favor on every trade. Flexibility across multiple markets and time frames is critical if you hope to survive as a trader long term. Here's another great example, completely different look and feel, a US yen cross 4-hour chart, kind of a quasi swing trade again. Same strategy. You've got trade profiles that are adjusting to market conditions, your reversal long trade hitting its full target, able to add on. Look at how finely tuned these trade profiles are, and the stop pushing up, giving you a chance to get the most out of this particular time frame. And here's another completely look and feel using a trade station chart, a euro yen on a 233 tick. Notice how each trade is specifically tuned to the market condition. I applied the exact same strategy, different pair, different time frame. You can see the difference in the size of the trades. This is the SSTFX at work, and this is what separates us from the rest. Another thing that sets us apart is that other systems out there are almost never trained or demonstrated in live markets. The SSTFX, on the other hand, is always trained and demoed in live markets. We're always holding live demos. We're showing you how the SSTFX performs in real live trading situations as it's happening on the right edge of the chart. We have total confidence in its effectiveness, and rather than fleeing the live markets or hiding always behind dated recordings, we're constantly creating fresh new content virtually every single trading day with how the SSTFX has performed. Here's an example of a current blog post showing you two different looks at the same window of time. Two profitable ways to trade the Euro-US using the SSTFX. Remember, no trader stays the same. You might be trading Forex today, but realize there's great opportunities in futures or even stock options tomorrow. Most of the time you have to dump your current system or buy yet another one to have any chance to learn these new markets. And many thousands of dollars later you might have a chance to master yet another system. But with the SSTFX you never have to move on to the latest and greatest. And while the SSTFX is specifically designed for Forex, you can easily migrate over to the full SST and apply them to stocks, futures, trade options against stocks, you name it. This saves you money and time trying to learn new systems. Instead, just become the master of one system. Here's an example of a silver ETF. This is the iShares Silver Trust. We all know how hot the silver market has been. It's not a Forex chart, but the SST works great. This is an example of a trade I took myself where I actually bought March 28 calls right here at the entry. I exited at each one of these target levels. The first one I received a 25% gain. On the second position I came off with a 42% gain, and I let the rest continue to trail, got stopped out prematurely here. But with the ongoing training, we teach you how to get right back on board. And I actually was buying new March calls at this level and have already exceeded all my targets. This is classic SST trading. By mastering the SST Forex, I was able to apply the exact same strategy to the iShares Silver Trust, and I could participate in the hot moving silver market with the SST. Remember, the hot markets of today are not necessarily the hot markets of tomorrow. We have to be nimble and flexible, and we have to be able to apply the same trade system on multiple markets and time frames. In fact, the competition isn't even trading live in the markets, but our entire coaching team is trading live every single day. We have first-hand knowledge and experience of how to maximize the SST, and we're always in tune with the markets and changing opportunities. In fact, I started with NetPicks as a customer, just like a lot of you. Our support begins the moment you receive your system. It doesn't end like many of our competitors, and that's it. Now they leave you to kind of fend for yourselves. That's not how NetPicks operates. As soon as you receive the system, we stay with you ongoing and help you achieve a certain level of excellence. And we're constantly sharing our knowledge with our members. In fact, the reason I wanted to share this example with you is because of this great new way we've discovered on how to get back on board a trade. It's a very powerful setup, and this is just another example of what we're going to teach you as you continue to develop as an SST trader. Finally, and one of the big differentiators of what separates us from the rest, is the whole concept of WYSIWYT. What you see is what you trade. You'll find most demos of trading systems show very little on the chart. Much is left to the imagination, and you have to assume, wonder, pray that you'll be able to subjectively trade like the developer of those systems. It becomes nearly impossible to replicate what they're doing. Instead, the SSTFX is all about what you see is what you trade. It's all crystal clear when a setup is there, and the targets and stops are always charted. Trailing stops are always charted. Nothing is left to chance or guessing. And when you see our videos and demos, you see these setups, not just our promise that they might be there once you learn the strategy. Check out this end of day chart, this pound-dollar swing trade. It's the same system, same everything. There's your entry. Here are your targets. Here's your stop. Here's your stop locking into a break-even trade. Here's a chance to peel off some position size at these different target levels. The trade comes against us and stops out. Here's a chance to get on board again. Here's a trade coming up, almost getting to full target again. The trailing stop pushing up, locking in a little bit of profit. It's all right there. What you see is what you trade. So hopefully I've given you a few things to think about. This is a short but very important list of what separates the SSTFX from all the other trade systems out there. Stay tuned for more information about the SSTFX. Make sure you're registered for our live demonstration coming up this week, February 24th, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard, and then again at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the end of this short video, you'll see a link where you can log in and register for our live demos. Thanks again for joining me, everybody. This is TJ with the 7summitstrader.com. I'll see you on the next video.